So I'm now going to replace the rear main seal. The rear main seal is this seal all the way right around here. It's about 20 bucks, so it's not too expensive, but it's extremely difficult to get to, and it is prone to leak. So anytime you're in here, it just makes sense to put a new one on. In fact, it was so prone to leak that it's one of the things Porsche changed in their designs later on. This seal right here that I have hasn't been leaking, but it is the new design, and I know that because when I measure from the seal up to this surface right here, it measures 13 millimeters, whereas the old one, the original seal that they used, the one that was more problematic, only measured 11 millimeters from the surface to the top of the seal. So the new seal design sits a little bit lower. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and replace it. Before I take the old one out, I'm gonna check and make sure that there are no burrs or sharp edges or anything on here that will damage the new seal when I slide it on. If there are, this is like 1,000 grit sandpaper, really fine sandpaper, and you can just kind of sand off any like sharp snags or things like that there. All right, to remove it, I'm gonna drill a small hole in the seal, and I have a little bit of tape on here to stop me because I can only drill into it 5 millimeters deep and no deeper. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. With this hole drilled in there, just gonna screw a screw in there a little bit, not too deep. I'm gonna use that to try and pry out the seal. There we go. Beautiful. Now that the old seal is off, I need to get this area perfectly clean. So to clean these surfaces where the seal sits, you should use a lint-free cloth and some acetone. So this is some acetone that I robbed from my wife. It's 100% pure acetone used as nail polish remover sometimes, which is why my wife had it. And I've got a lint-free cloth. And I just gotta get in there and get this area totally and thoroughly clean. Before we can install the new rear main seal, we've got to let this dry completely. So we're gonna give it a few minutes and then come back to it and install the rear main seal. So here's the new rear main seal. It's very important that you don't touch the mating surfaces or get them dirty. And it's also very important that you don't apply any sort of oil or sealant or anything like that. This seal is designed to mate with just the bare, clean metal. And if you put some contaminants in there, even if it's like a sealer, it might reduce the effectiveness of the seal. Could actually lead to oil leaks. So it's designed to just go in there clean. It comes on a plastic retaining type ring, and this ring just kind of fits onto the shaft there, like that. And then you can press the seal down like so. To install this, I made a tool out of PVC that I'm going to use here. Just a 3-inch PVC cap, and it has a slot where I can measure the depth. gonna put that over there, and then I'm gonna use the bolts from the flywheel. So this allows me to tighten each of these 4 bolts and press it in slowly and make sure that one side doesn't get pressed in further than the other. At this point, gone ahead, measured around, and it's 13 millimeters all around from the face to the seal. So hopefully that will be a good seal, and I won't have any problems with it. So here's the old seal, and actually after taking it out, I looked the part number up and found that this seal had been superseded by a new seal. So even though this was a seal that was embedded deeper, it was still not the latest revision of the crankshaft seal. So it turns out they've updated it like at least 2 or 3 times to try and get one that really works well. So hopefully this one that I put in here will last another 50, 60,000 miles until I get into the clutch again. I also wanted to show the tool I made. I had to search around to find the right size cap, but this is just some PVC cap that I bought at a local hardware store. Unfortunately, I couldn't find one with a flat top that was the right size, so kind of had to flatten the top out a little bit for the nuts. It has 4 holes for the flywheel bolts and a notch out of it to measure the depth of the seal, because I have to get it at the right depth. Just tighten these bolts down and it pressed the seal in pretty well, kept it from getting crooked.